To the other side of the country now, but speaking of elections, news poll over there in WA shows Labor's on track for a really convincing victory tomorrow. There'll be extensive coverage on Sky starting at 6 o'clock Perth time and 9 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time. All of the experts will be covering it top and tail. Labor's leading the Liberals, 57.5 to 42.5, two-party preferred. But however, according to the West Australian newspaper, that's where those polls were published, Labor could actually be facing a 13% swing against it in favour of the Liberals. And the Libs, of course, hold, I think it's 2 or 3 seats. Joining me now, the WA Liberal Party President and Sky News host, Caroline de Russo. Great to see you again, Caroline. Are we believing the polls, or are we getting set for a big swing against the government?
Well, Steve, one thing I've really learned in politics is nothing is ever as good or as bad as it seems. And, you know, everyone knows that we did not have a good result in the 2021 state election. It has been an uphill battle, it absolutely has. But we're not quitters here in WA, Steve. And we are out on the ground, we are out everywhere. My candidates, I'm so proud to say, not only have they run great state campaigns, or great local campaigns, I should say, but they've been standing on pre-poll from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. every day, making sure they get to speak to as many voters as possible. And they will be there fighting for every vote until 6 p.m. tomorrow. So
is this about trying to claw back as many seats, Caroline, as you possibly can, knowing that probably you're not going to get there? I mean, we saw in Werribee in Victoria a 16% swing against the Allen Labor government, which is a much worse government than Roger Cook's, but they still couldn't get the Libs over the line because of the way preferences shattered all over the place. What would you be happy with? I mean, what would the Liberal Party tomorrow night go, well, we ran a good campaign, that's probably a fair result?
Well, to win the election, we would need a 23% swing, and that's why I said it's an uphill battle. It really is. But look, I think it's actually been quite interesting in a way, Steve. And I've got this theory, if you don't mind. You know, that we're already in this unofficial federal campaign. We've got this cyclone. Both these things are sucking so much out of the news cycle that the campaign at a state level, I think, has probably not been getting the airtime that it has. So where you've had those local campaigns that have been running really good campaigns, I think it means all the more in this election, perhaps than what it ordinarily would. So while we talk about these things in this sense of a uniform swing, I don't think there's going to be anything that even remotely resembles a uniform swing. I even went back to have a look at the swings from the last election, and there were swings from between 6% and 24%. So it's very difficult to know where the baseline is. The one thing that I do know is that the party, and something that I'm very grateful for internally, is that everyone got focused on where they wanted to be. Everyone got focused on making the absolute best and doing their best to win this election campaign. So the work got started a long time ago. The pre-selections got done early. We have got a lot of candidates out in the field who have had the benefit of 12-month campaigns. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how that comes through tomorrow evening in the count, where we have had, in that sense, you know, our local candidates on the ground for some time.
One of those candidates is my old mate Basil Zempilas. Is he going to get up?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I hope so. Absolutely. Baz got pre-selected early in the piece. He has run a great local campaign, and really local. That direct voter contact, he's a personality here, so to say, but he has actually really done the work that he needs to do to be able to get to know the people of Churchlands, because the most important thing that he can do, and the only thing that he is focused on, is winning that seat.
Yeah, he's a very talented young man. Are we going to be able to read any federal implications, Caroline, into what happens in Perth tomorrow, or in WA in a wider sense?
Oh, I'm not really sure about that, to be honest. I mean, this WA campaign is a very state-based campaign. You know, health is a big issue, crime is a big issue. There may be a little bit of federal overlap, particularly where you're looking at those regional seats, and I think regional WA will be a good place for people to focus tomorrow night. I mean, people always like to look to the waterfront seats, but I think regional WA will tell you a story. WA Labor has been just rancid as far as regional WA goes, and I think something like the Keep the Sheep and the banning of the live exports, banning of the forestry industry and those sorts of things, there will be that overlap. But Steve, as you know, we've had a Chinese warship circumnavigating Western Australia, and that hasn't really broken into the WA state campaign conversation at all. So I think while we're out door knocking and people do say, actually, I had someone bail me up in West Perth today and said, will you just get rid of Anthony Albanese? And I said, can I just deal with this state election first and then we'll work on getting rid of Anthony Albanese? But I think this campaign is a very state-based campaign at the moment. And come Sunday, we flip into federal.
Yeah, as it always is in WA. Caroline, thank you.